Hi, this is Francis from Trauma Megastar Alliance, and today I want to talk about talking and sharing. Do you remember when you're new in a relationship? You're talking all the time. You're asking questions. You could be on the phone for hours and you're trying to really understand the person, learn all the new things about them, and it's exciting. Or with your child, you're asking your kid all these questions and how's school today and how's it going? Did you meet any friends? And you're at playtime with the kids, and it's very interactive. But sometimes in relationships, we get away from that. And it's as time goes on. So, you may be in a relationship for years and you think you really know the person and you love the person, but you can just, by default over time, you can easily just get into, you do what you do, I do what I do. You still talk, you love each other, but it's kind of like, you like art, I like basketball. Or if it's with your children, my children like to go out and, play, and I like to, read. And you still have time together, but you're doing a lot of things individually. And there's nothing wrong with having your own interests. But the thing is, are we engaging with the people we love and care about consistently? Or are we falling into a trap where it's very much, I do what I do, you do what you do, we meet, and, but together we talk, but not that much. And then before you know it, you're two individual people doing your own thing all the time. And that collective spirit and energy is not there. And a lot of times that just happens because we're not aware of it. Okay, so, when you were a kid and you were in first grade and you were done, you moved on to second, a whole new exciting adventure, and then third and fourth and fifth, etc. Okay, but as we get older, sometimes it's easy to say every year is the same year. But the key is to make every year a new year and every day a new day. And when we're having relationships that are important to us and we want them to be fantastic and magnificent, we have to engage all the time. And when I say all the time, I don't mean every second. I mean all the time as in within our lives. So if you're married or you have a significant other, you have to ask questions. How was your day? Not just a canned, how was your day? Great. No, that's it's kind of just throwing it out there. It's not really a real question. How was your day? Oh, really? How'd that go? How did that make you feel? What was that like? Oh, did that upset you? Or was that exciting? What are your thoughts about next week when you have that meeting? Your kids, you might be like, I know you didn't do well on that one task, but you know what? Hey, we can work together if you want when I can help you get through that. Or you did amazing on something, or, that was a great, dance that you just did, or you did amazing on a task. I'm so proud of you, or if the kids are being respectful and really going above and beyond, you see, I really notice what you're doing. Like, I see that, that you're really growing up and doing so many things that are mature and thoughtful, and I'm so proud of you. Or you tell your wife, like, I know you've been really busy, but you've been doing so well for the family, and I appreciate that, and it must be stressful. Or you want to talk about the weekend instead of, hey, what do you want to do? No, it's like, hey, what do you want to do this weekend? You want to think of something different? Or, hey, what would you like to do? And when you do that and really engage with people and really make them feel that your identity is also part of their identity, and it's together and a feeling of collectiveness, it really changes everything. It really does. It's a different feeling to be just thinking of yourself for the most part. But yeah, I love the others too. And you're a separate entity versus truly absorbed together. It not like oil and vinegar together, but like a substance where it's mixed. It's all together in one big entity. You're still an individual with your own interest. The people you love have their own interests. That's great. But you also have to have this feeling and energy that really, what really matters is our togetherness, is our understanding of each other. is really asking questions consistently, really trying to get in their mind, like, hey, what is, how does that feel? And really compliment them when you see it. You don't want to see people make such progress and just let it be. You want to acknowledge it and talk about it. Another thing is, if you're not feeling good about something, anything, you have to express your feelings and not be afraid to say, hey, this bothers me when you do this, or the opposite. I'm really appreciative when you do that. And, or I'm having a tough week. I'm really stressed out, and I'm doing my best. If you don't say that, people don't know. And when people don't know, they start assuming, right? So if you don't ask your kids all sorts of questions and engage with them, they may think, well, I'm getting older now. They're really not as interested in me. Not really true. A lot of people always say, I've heard this so many times, and I truly disagree with this personally, as I've heard all the time that, you'll see when your kids get older, they're not really going to be interested in you anymore. They'll love you, of course, but they're not really going to be interested in you. Well, that's because you let it be that way. You stop investing, they don't know, they stop investing, you still love each other, and it becomes, good relationship, but not an amazing relationship. Goes that way in relationships. You'll hear it all the time. Yeah, well, I've been married for 20 years. We just sit there and we don't talk, and that's great. Well, is it great? Is it really great that you don't say anything to each other and you just sit there? It's not great. What can be great is when you are engaging. You ever see an old couple smile at each other when they're walking together holding hands? Because I've seen it. And it always resonates with me because I'm like, wow, they've been together for so long, but they have the ability to really know each other, and you can feel that they love each other, and you can see that they're talking. They learned over time that that's what works. They figured it out on their own. Now, whether they figured that out a year into their marriage, 5 years, 25 years, I don't know. But when I see that, I know that they figured it out. It's not about, exciting in the beginning and then same old in the end. It's about exciting in the beginning, learn someone on a deeper level, maintain that connection through questions and understanding and communication all the time, the communication. And when you do that, you are setting yourself up to have a relationship that is absolutely fantastic. Now, I know relationships are complicated. We all have stresses, and it's not always that easy. But when it's just like anything, right? If you have a cake and you're putting the right ingredients in, well, yeah, it's possible you'd burn the cake if you were busy and you left it in the oven too long. But if you put the wrong ingredients in, you had no shot, right? If you put the right ingredients in and you try and do it right and put it in the oven for the right amount of time, you have the opportunity to have an amazing cake. It's the same thing in life. If you put in the ingredients and you're aware of the ingredients and you really do that in a relationship, it can separate you from having an okay relationship to an amazing relationship. Sometimes we believe we can't have great, but we can have great. We assume that the norm is over time, things just are. Kids do their own thing. They don't care about mom and dad. Yes, they can. You're married for so long, ho hum. No, it doesn't need to be. If you put the energy in, you ask the questions, you dig in, and you make that a part of your life, just like if you were going to go to work and every day you still have to do work. You don't go into work and say in the beginning, yeah, I'm going to work really hard and then I'm just going to sit there. You might, and that's fine. But if you do it, you're probably not going to stay in that job. And if that's your decision because you don't want the job, that's fine. But if you love someone and you want that relationship to flourish, you have to do that every day, just like you go to work when you do your work to do well. And if you do it, you can have everything you want. Check us out at www.traumamegastaralliance.com and see what we're all about. Thank you.